Hey everyone, it's Andrew Warner, founder of mixergy.com, home of the ambitious upstart. And I told you in the past how much I love listening to sales stories. I love hearing how people close sales because you know what? Sales, that's what it's all about in business. If you don't know how to sell, get the hell out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play for you a clip of Alan Stern, the founder of Cloud Contacts and Center Networks. I'm going to play you one of his sales stories. And then I'm going to come back afterwards and I'm going to ask you for one of your sales stories and I'll give you an incentive. I'll tell you why you should do it. Okay, first let's play Alan from one of my interviews.
So I think the key is to just be out there and get your name out there and be pushing who you are. You need to hustle 24 hours a day. If you're in the elevator and people behind you are talking about something that your product or service is related to, turn around and hand them a business card and be ready at all times. One of the stories I share is that I went to a meetup about a month and a half ago. I left with another guy. We got on the subway and he got off at the next. We were talking while we were on the subway. He got off at the next station, and the guy sitting next to him slid over and said, "Hey, I think I'd be interested in that." I gave him my card, and the next day he ordered my service. So I think you always have to be ready to talk about what you're doing.
All right, let me leave it at that. That is a portion of a longer interview that I hope you download with Alan Stern. We're going to talk about, or we did talk about in the interview that I hope you download about how he started as a blogger, what it's meant that he is one of the top bloggers in the startup space, how he launched this company Cloud Contacts too. We counted other companies' money. You know how I love doing that. All right, so download the interview. Okay, now back to sales. I would love to hear your favorite, your most interesting, your most readily available even the first sales story that you can think of. I'd love to hear it. Add it to the comments. And what I'm going to do is I'll take the best stories that I read in the comments and I'll give you guys a subscription to Cloud Contacts. Cloud Contacts is Alan Stern's company, which takes business cards that you collect when you go to events, to parties, to conferences. It takes all those cards and it digitizes them and makes them available to you so that you don't have to keep them in a box somewhere. You actually have access to them. All right, so let me hear your story. I think it's also a great way for me to find out who's reading this blog. It's also a great way for me to connect with you, and maybe even at some point in the future I'll get to interview you. Go, and I'll see you in the comments. Hey, did you know that the clip you just saw is part of a longer interview that you can download right on mixergy.com?